Okay? With regards to istinja, it is part of tahara. Okay? And najasat. Just to make it a statement, it is preferred not to touch your private parts with your right hand. To grab your private parts is not haram. It's preferred not to. Okay? It's even more told not to, now again, makruhat, to touch your back part with your right hand. Okay? Also, using paper is not the preferred method of cleaning yourself. The preferred method of cleaning yourself is to take water and to pour it on your privates in the front and the back, and to use your left hand to touch your private and to pour water with your right hand, and the same way with your back to wipe that stuff down off your backside, and you should start washing the front. Since you have paper, number one, it doesn't get you as clean, and it leaves ithar. What is ithar? Yani, help me out, Abdul Hamid. What is ithar? Residue. Thank you. Jazakumullah khair. The water cleans that off. And also, you notice that even scientists now, doctors, are telling people when they have hemorrhoids, and those different problems like prostates and stuff like that, they're telling them, they're giving them the little bottles, and when the women have the pregnancy and they give birth, they're giving them those bottles and saying, this is better for you to clean yourself with. They're using it strictly from a medical perspective, but we're doing from the sunnah perspective, the water is better. And then afterwards, if you want to use some dry paper to dry yourself off, then that's okay. But how it should be done, if you grab the paper with your right hand, then you put it in your left hand. If you're going to touch your privates, your penis, for example, touch your penis with your left hand, and then wipe with with your right, being careful not to touch your private areas with that right hand. Does that answer your question? Because you have the paper right there with you. Why? Because you eat with your right hand. What is that thing that people get, that disease that the people are getting all the time? What? No, not hepatitis B. The one that they always be talking about in the paper, E. coli or something like that? Salmonella. And that's from feces. Right? The salmonella poisoning, it's when they didn't get the feces from, they say it's the pesticide, or I'm not good with the language anymore, no more. But whatever they put on there is partly feces, and they couldn't get it off, and that's why people get this E. coli. I think it's E. coli poisoning. It's feces on the food. Okay? It wasn't clean properly. You can get that from wiping with your right hand and eating with your right hand. Because you didn't get it off. It's microbes. You understand? So that's why you should clean that whole area off, especially people who have babies and pregnancies. There are a lot of different bacteria that are there. And using water is the best thing to izalatiha. What is water? Water is pure and purifying. It goes back to our original thing about water. It's pure and it purifies the area. Paper is not pure and purifying. Right? Paper is wood. You know, basically. I hope I answered your question. Did I? Okay. And just to make it totally clear, I'm saying don't use paper by itself. That's what I'm saying. Okay? Dung of animals that cannot be eaten. So we can't use the dung or the feces. It's not considered feces if it's from an animal that we can eat. Like goat dung and all, that's not considered feces. It's only considered feces like dogs, pigs, donkeys, scavenger animals like the vulture and certain birds, you know, like the eagle. We can't eat their feces. We can't use their feces. That stuff is feces. But the other stuff is not. Going right along, it says menstrual blood, the blood from the menstruation. Blood from the menses. Okay? Not just any blood. Some people think blood indenture, oh, I got a bloody nose, I broke my fast. No, you didn't break your fast because you started bleeding. Okay? It's not like that. Blood in itself is not going to make you, impure. It's blood from the menses. Okay? Here we're talking about here. It says, Asma ibn Abi Bakr stated that a woman came to the Prophet ﷺ and said, we get menstrual blood on our clothing, so what should we do? He replied, ﷺ, 3 things. Rub it, then scratch it off with water, and then wet it, and you can pray in it. Okay? What we went through about this thing, he said rub it, okay? To get it, you rub it to get it off. You know what I'm saying? If it got dried, she's talking about dried blood, So you rub it, and it comes off. You take the clothes, and you go like that, it comes out. Scratching it with water, you pour in some, you're not putting a whole bunch of water in it because it's just spotted. You see what she said? We get some of the blood on our clothing. So it's not like you're washing that garment. So he's telling us something about not taking off the clothes and saying, okay, I got to throw it in the wash. But you just want to get it off for you. Because otherwise the whole thing is clean. You got my point there? So then you say you rub it with water now. Now you're scratching it with water. You pour a little water in there and you're scratching it off. Right? Getting it through it. The scratching, that part is getting the water to go through the item. The water has to go through the item. You follow me? And then after it said then wet it. Then after you rub the water through it, then you wet it again. Okay? After you got the sign of it off, and then you can pray in it. Does everybody understand that? The 3 things you did? Okay. All these hadith are narrated are authentic, inshallah. Dog saliva. The 5th thing is dog saliva. The dog saliva is, the Prophet ﷺ said, the purifying of one of your bowls that a dog has licked has to be washed 7 times, the first time being with dirt. So we see there's proof from the Prophet ﷺ that if dog saliva, did I say the dog rub it against your leg? Because you see some Muslims, the dog come out and be like, yo, don't let the dog touch me, I'll kill you. You know? That's what they be like, yo, don't let that, I ain't moving. Better control you. But it's not the whole dog, right? It's just the nose and his saliva, or that wet part, stuff like that. Not that you want the dog to touch you anyway, but the point is that what part of it is najasa? What part of it is a contaminant? And that's that nose and that whole mouth area and stuff like that. Everybody got me? And we have the proof. The 6th thing is carrion, dead, rotten meat. Dead or carrion. We know carrion, right? Not carrion, but carrion. And this refers to the animal that has died without being slaughtered in the legally sanctioned manner. The Prophet ﷺ said, if the pelt is tanned, it becomes pure. So if you can take the skin off of it and then tan it, then that thing can become pure. But if not, it's not pure. Even the skin is not pure unless you tan it. Okay? But the meat is rotten. You can't eat it. That means you go out in the woods and you find an animal that got killed. It fell down and smashed his head and is dead. You can't eat that. If it's dying and you can slaughter it, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, now you can eat it. Okay, because you killed it. But if it's dead already, you can't do it. You understand that? Yes or no? Come on, guys, talk to me. Okay, so it says here, the exceptions for the skin of the pelt of carrion being impure are the following. Dead fish and locusts are considered pure. Dead fish and locusts. So there's an exception here. The exception is if it's fish from the ocean that comes up, right, and is dead, you can use those. Locusts also, you can eat those if you find them dead. But this is the exception. It says this is based on the hadith of Ibn Umar, radiyallahu anhu, who said that the Prophet said 2 types of dead animals and 2 types of blood have been made permissible to us. He said the 2 dead animals are fish and locusts, and the 2 types of blood are the liver and spleen. Could you get that phone for me, somebody? I don't know. Is it on me? Just search in there somewhere. Hold on, let me see. Okay.